Alright, Roland MMA, welcome back to the channel. This is take 5. I'm having a real hard time this morning. I am tired and I've got a really bad headache, but I want to make sure I put out a video for you guys. So today we are going to talk about the news that was broken by the Schmo, I believe. Potential matchup between Colby Covington and Belal Muhammad. I'm going to give you my early prediction and how I think that fight may go, and where Khamzat Chimaev fits in all this. So before I get into that, please like and subscribe. I'm going to thank you in advance because I know that you're not going to want to be the guy that, doesn't do the thing that he's already been thanked for. It would be like getting paid for a job up front and then not completing that job. And, man, you don't want to be that guy. So thank you very much for subscribing, and thank you to everybody, all of my new subscribers that have been subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Just one step closer to monetization. So thank you all very much. All right. Colby Covington versus Belal Muhammad is a great matchup. There's going to be uneducated fans that think this will be a boring matchup. I think this is an extremely exciting matchup because, man, every once in a while I love to see who's the better grappler, who's the better wrestler, all that jazz. Like the striker grappler matchup can get a little old from time to time, But I want to see if Belal Muhammad is actually on par with Colby Covington's wrestling abilities, because the way that Belal Muhammad beat Vicente Luque and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson were extremely impressive, and then he goes out there, has the same game plan as Sean Brady, and out Sean Brady. And that one for me was a little less impressive, just because of the level of competition that he was able to get the finish at. But Sean Brady was a very good talent, good up-and-comer, and it was a step up in competition from him, and we got to see that Belal Muhammad is not somebody to take lightly. He's not going to be like an older gatekeeper who the young up-and-comers make their name off of. He's dead serious. He's like on a title run, and I think that he's finally getting an opportunity that he's earned, quite frankly. And I'm glad that they didn't just give him a title shot because of the way that the Leon Edwards fight ended between him, because I don't think he earned one by finishing Sean Brady. But if he goes out there and puts on a hell of a performance against Colby Covington, he will definitely earn himself a title shot, and it'll be awesome. I don't think that he beats Leon, and I would honestly rather see him against Kamaru. But this is a great fight for now. I'm wondering if Colby, he'll be a little undersized, as he will be in every fight that he's in, basically, because he's not a weight bully. And I'm not saying that Belal Muhammad's necessarily a weight bully, but he's definitely going to weigh more than Colby Covington on the night of the fight. For me, the real intriguing part of this matchup is going to see who is going to out-scramble one another, right? Because there's no doubt that one of them's going to shoot a takedown. And I would wager that it would be Belal Muhammad first. Colby Covington might want to just to send a message like, hey, I'm not just here to do what I did with Kamaru Usman. I'm not just going to strike with you because we're both grapplers. I am here to implement my game plan on you, and I'm going to melt you. But I reckon that Belal Muhammad will probably be the first one to shoot, because if I had to pick between a guy in a kickboxing match, if I had to pick a fighter that was going to win this fight, if they were just kickboxing with MMA gloves on, I would probably pick Colby Covington. I know that Colby doesn't throw the fastest and he doesn't hit the hardest. His technique is leagues above Belal Muhammad, and that's saying something, man, because Colby Covington's technique ain't really all that either. And I'm not saying this to shit on the guys, but it's not what they're known for. Colby Covington has this bad habit of putting his hand flat to his face as a form of defense. It's like, dude, that ain't working. And that's when he got his jaw, maybe he didn't get it broken, but when he got hit clean, the punch that everybody thought broke his jaw, he had his hand flat to his face. It don't do a goddamn thing. That is not proper striking defense. And it just shows you that, he's, leaving a bit to be desired when it comes to the striking realm. With that being said, though, Belal Muhammad, he leaves more to be desired than even Colby Covington does. Even when he finished Sean Brady there with punches, you know, he, if you were to just silhouette him out, make him just a shadow fighter, you might think it was Juliana Pena throwing punches. And I'm not trying to shit on the guy. I mean, it worked. He got him out. He got him out of there, right? But I think that it's because it's Juliana Pena punches with a little bit more power and a little bit more speed behind him, just because he's a man, you know. So the scrambles are going to be the interesting part. I want to see who ends up on top, because I would almost bet my life on it that someone's shooting a takedown. And dude, I want to know who wins the scrambles. I think that Colby might be able to out-grapple this guy. Might be able to out-grapple Belal. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time. I just about stopped this video again. Got a real bad headache, like I said. I'm trying to get through this one. Didn't want to lose the momentum of yesterday. I understand this video is not going to get as many clicks as the one yesterday, but hey, we got to power through it, right? It's no option. So, gun to my head, if I had to pick, I would pick Colby Covington. The reason for that is when I'm picking a fight, I try to think of like how many ways does a guy have to victory. And with Belal Muhammad, I kind of only see one style to victory. Like, he only implements one game plan. And the only reason he got the finish against Sean Brady was because Khabib urged him in the corner, no, go finish this guy. This guy's tired. Whatever. But he had even lost one of those rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we've never seen Belal Muhammad go five rounds. So if the scrambles, the grappling, the wrestling, right, if that's all a giant question mark for us here, which it might not be to some, you know, some of you may have an opinion on who you think is going to do better in that department. I would probably give the slight edge to Colby, if I'm being honest. But then if we look at the striking, I would also give the slight edge to Colby. And while I've heard great things about Belal Muhammad's cardio, I would probably have to give the slight edge to Colby there as well. Simply because we've seen him go there multiple times. We have seen him implement his game plan, push a pace for 5 rounds, and we have seen him not be able to implement his game plan, be equally pace pushing with Kamaru Usman, and still look ready to go fresh in the 5th round. So for those reasons, I would pick Colby over Belal. But this is not by any means like a blowout. I would give Colby Covington maybe like a 5% more advantage than Belal in this fight. And that might seem crazy, just because of the level of competition that they faced and won against and stuff like that. But yeah, I reckon 55-45 in favor of Colby Covington for me. And I think that the odds might reflect that, actually. I think that one might be a slight favorite if it's not a pick'em fight. But this is one that I'm really excited for. And I gotta be honest, man, I'm not saying that I think that Colby would have lost to Khamzat, but I kind of think Colby would have lost to Khamzat. And it would have been good in one sense that we would have got to see Khamzat basically fight for a title right after that. But I don't like seeing guys lose because they're not big enough. Which Colby is. Like, that's his natural weight. Khamzat's just a weight bully. And I'm not saying that to be negative. It's just the term that I use. You know, he cuts a lot of weight. He has a hard time making the weight. And he probably would have just been too imposing for Covington. But I guess we're not going to find out. And I wonder where that leaves Khamzat, eh? You think he's going to middleweight? Or are they going to do a Burns rematch before either one of them's champion as a title eliminator fight? I'd be really curious to know. Or are they going to do him versus Robert Whittaker, him versus Vettori? I mean, there's a lot of potential matchups. If I'm being honest, I don't think he finds as much success at 185. I think there's a few guys who he's a really bad stylistic matchup for, but I think overall, Marvin Vettori, like, giant man, right? Good grappling capabilities. Robert Whittaker, best takedown defense quite possibly ever. Yeah, I don't know. I would rather kind of see him stick it out at 170, but if I cared about him and had a personal relationship, I'd probably tell him you should go up, right? Just because he's got such a hard time making the weight. It is unfortunate, though, because both of these guys were, rumored at one point to fight him, and now we're kind of left wondering, well, okay, what does that mean for Khamzat? And it's crazy that a guy who went from fighting like once a week to, we're not going to see him every, once a year or something like that. But I want you all to let me know in the comments, where do you think Khamzat's going? Do you think Khamzat's getting stuck at 185? Do you think they're going to do a Gilbert Burns rematch? Do you think, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to let him wait out and just wait for an opportune moment where they don't have a clear-cut contender and give him a title shot at either weight class? Because he's a company guy, company favorite. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And I want to apologize in advance if this video is a little more boring than the ones previous. Again, headache. Wanted to make sure I got a video out for you guys. I thank you all very much. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, thanking you in advance. Thank you very much for subscribing. Don't be a guy who gets paid for a job and then doesn't do it. That's asshole. Okay. I'm going to wrap this one up here because we got through it. So see you later.